Hey everyone, welcome back to Monster Hunter Tri. We are once again in the Hunting with Purpose series. I think this is part 34, and this is the third Monster Hunter recording in a row that has been Tri. I was going to phrase that slightly differently, but then I remembered that I had in fact played Dark Souls 2 at one point, so yeah, of the Monster Hunter recordings that I've done, the last three have been Tri, including this one. I don't expect to keep doing Tri exclusively, but do expect a lot of Tri. Fortunately, there has been sustained interest on the channel when it comes to Monster Hunter Tri. You guys seem to enjoy it. You watch it, so that is an indication of enjoyment, or at least a metric that I can use to ascertain some level of enjoyment. So, yeah. I am going to be recording it not just because I want to deliver something that you guys also enjoy watching. I want to build this character, and recording it allows me to do that more effectively. Speaking of playing in my own time, which is obviously the other time that I play this game when I'm not recording it, just, you know, process of elimination would hopefully indicate that, but I'll discuss my beverage in a moment. I will pour it, however, once I have finished discussing the point that I was about to make. And that is that today I was playing in my own time, and I learnt something new. I was hunting Rathalos during the day. I'm now again able to hunt him at night, and I'll get to that in a moment as well. There's something that I'd like to discuss on that point. But I discovered that in fact, even if you are not in the area with a monster that dies, or a small monster in particular that dies, I suppose a large monster would also be the same here. If you're in Moga Free Hunt and you're not in the area with a monster that has died, you still get the resource points, which is really interesting, because what happened was, when I was playing in my own time today, and I wish I would have caught it on camera, or I wish I had done so, because it would have just, I suppose my reaction to it would have been enjoyable, because I'd completely forgotten that it was possible, and it was really quite enjoyable also because of how the death of the monster, the small monster in question, related to the confrontation. So basically, I had a Rathalos that was hungry, he flew away, went to another area, and then I saw an Aptonoth appearing on my screen as a kill, which obviously indicated to me that Rathalos had gone and killed an Aptonoth to eat, which was really interesting. I was not expecting to get points for it, but because I got points for it, I was able to see, even though I wasn't there, that a Rathalos had indeed killed an Aptonoth. It was pretty cool. What? Hey AJ in the chat says, I finally caught you live with the Hunsterverse bot. Do you know why? It's because the Hunsterverse bot has actually been broken for the last few months, as I understand it. If it hasn't been broken, so to speak, then it has at least been unreliable. Eclipse only fixed it a few days ago, so that might actually be why this is the first time you've caught me live in the Hunsterverse thing, like the bot. Basically, there's a channel on Hunsterverse that displays any registered person when they're live streaming, and that's good to know that it works. A little bit of feedback always helps, as far as whether or not these things work, and a person actually getting here from Hunsterverse would be an indication that it's working. Oh, that is so sour. I'll discuss the beer. So, I'm currently drinking, and this will be backwards, Sea Legs Brewing Mango and Dragon Fruit Sour. This is a lovely beer. It is very appropriate for the weather. You may not be able to see it, but I am very hot right now. It is currently storming and raining outside, but it is still hot and humid and disgusting. So, yeah, I definitely need a little bit of refreshment. And that is what I'm currently experiencing with this very tasty beverage. What is that? Wii Remote 1 disconnected is what just appeared on my screen. Am I able to hear system sounds? Let me just check this. Yes, I am able to hear system sounds. So why did it say that? Oh, I see, it's gone idle. That's what's happened. My controller must have gone idle, did it? It did. Well, how am I supposed to... Okay, well, my controller has now gone idle for no particular reason. I mean, one would imagine that it went idle because I stopped doing anything on the controller, but come on. Like, this is totally unrelated to the connectivity of my controller to my computer, so how the hell am I supposed to restore connectivity to the game, or more specifically, the emulator? Except, what the fuck is going on? So what, the emulator arbitrarily decides that the controller has lost connection due to no input being recognized on the controller for a while, and then what am I supposed to do to restore connectivity? Because apparently making inputs, or rather, apparently there are no inputs to recognize on the controller because it's now been deemed to be idle, so what the hell? Emulated Wii Remote. Configure. I'm just going through my emulator settings right now. You guys would have seen that on the screen. It basically came up with I suppose a little text prompt which said that the Wii Remote 1 had gone idle or something like that. But I don't know how the hell to make it wake up again. Is my only recourse at this stage to literally close the fucking emulator and reload it? I don't think that's acceptable because this is not the only time this is going to happen, so I would love to find a more practical solution than that. Those with more experience in Dolphin would almost definitely know how to deal with this, but I don't, because, quite frankly, if you're playing on a Wii, what happens is your Wii Remote turns off because you haven't done anything with it for a while, and then you just, press the A button, for example, on the Wii Remote, and it wakes up. But you see, doing something on my controller doesn't actually allow it to wake up, because my controller, in truth, has not disconnected at any point. As far as its connectivity to the computer, it's just the emulator that's decided that, so I don't know how to fix this. Yes, I am living in Australia. Apparently it is cold in Germany. Fair enough. Well, I'm quite upset, because losing connectivity has rather derailed this introduction here. My only option, I think, is to actually close and reload, because I'm not going to... Yeah, shut up. Just stop. Yeah, I'm not going to investigate this now. This is not the time for me to be troubleshooting the basic functionality of the emulator. If I were able to find a setting for Wii Remote 1 which allows me to prevent it from going idle, then that would probably be my solution. But again, for now, let's just restart the emulation process and do that. Anyway, one thing that I only noticed when I was coming in here, like logging into my character or whatever you want to say. Logging in isn't quite the right way to put it because it's not an online game, at least not when you're selecting a character here in the character selection screen. But the point is that coming into the game, I saw in my Moga Free Hunt forecast that Rathalos was appearing, and I was concerned because I had in my own time already, like just this morning, killed a Rathalos, and I thought that perhaps I hadn't saved. I was quite perturbed by the prospect that I had spent time killing that Rathalos in Moga Free Hunt, which actually took a little bit of time because, interestingly, this loadout here, or this particular weapon, is still not strong enough to actually get a Rathalos killed in less than 10 minutes. Can quite comfortably take 15 depending on how things are going in the hunt. But anyway, it turned out that actually you have a daytime and nighttime cycle for the same day, which obviously makes sense. Today, tomorrow, the day after. Logically speaking, you would assume that daytime and nighttime for a single day would allow you to hunt the same things. So, I think practically that is helpful because if you miss the daytime opportunity, you still get the nighttime opportunity to hunt whatever is in the Moga forecast. So, I am generally okay with that. Ban this fuck, says Mihucut in response to a bot message. You see, banning bots doesn't work because they only send one message and then disappear forever. A different account will send another message, so banning is not really a solution to that. But anyway. And thank you for continuing to use DXD as some kind of emoticon. It is both confusing and even slightly entertaining. Anyway, I should think of something to do. Have I converted my stuff to resources? My stuff being, you know, my Rathalos kill materials that aren't actually related to... I'm getting this backwards. Basically, you don't get materials until you convert it into resources. That's how it works. But I have no such option. Hunt report, or the hunt report being empty, would indicate that indeed I did save my progress after having converted the kill of Rathalos into resources, which unfortunately did not actually include a rare commodity, which pissed me off because I was under the impression that killing something like a Rathalos, which would be a 3 or a 3rd tier monster by my calculations, or categorizations, should have a pretty high chance of giving you a rare commodity of some kind, but I suppose a rare commodity is specific to a monster in question, so it's not like you're going to get a random rare commodity from a Rathalos. Rather, you're going to have a chance of getting a rare commodity that will have, you know, a lot of stars, maybe a 4-star rare or a 3-star rare, something like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be easy to get one, because basically every, or at least as I understand it, every monster has its own rare commodity. There may be some rare commodities that aren't purely unique to a monster, but I would hope that you understand what I'm trying to get across. Oh. Well, this is real helpful, guys. I've been sitting here fucking playing with a black screen, and you guys are like, yeah, this is great. This live stream's great. Thanks, Doomlink. I'm enjoying looking at this small fucking thing. Thank you. Hey, AJ, I appreciate that. The reason, it's a long story as to why it was not displaying on the screen. I mean, I was literally discussing things that were on the fucking screen for me, but that you guys didn't see, so that was truly brilliant. Truly brilliant. Anyway, yeah. Hard to really illustrate that which you cannot even see, but yeah. That's alright. I'm glad someone mentioned it, at any rate. So, I do need to make a decision as to what I'm going to do right now, because I don't really have a plan. As I mentioned previously, making weapons really is the focus at the moment. Oh yeah, I actually did mine some Pelagisite ore, which is important. That was an ore type that I really wasn't upgrading at all, or rather requiring 4 upgrades at all. And yeah, I got some this morning. Bone Tomahawk, does this upgrade into a Fire Sword and Shield? It may. My guess is that it might upgrade into the Rathalos Sword and Shield. I don't think there's a Rathian Sword and Shield in Monster Hunter Tri. I'm quite sure about that. Which is to say, you don't get a gold Rathian Sword and Shield of any kind. Normally how it would work in the games that preceded this one, you'd start off with a Rathalos Sword and Shield, and then that would eventually upgrade into a gold Rathian Sword and Shield. And then in later games, you would actually have a mixture of gold Rathian and silver Rathalos as a Sword and Shield. I believe that was called Platinum Dawn, and interestingly enough, or at least as far as I'm concerned, Platinum Dawn fully upgraded was actually not as good as a weapon, or not as good of a weapon, if I could possibly speak English, as the gold Rathian Sword and Shield. So, there you are. And it was harder to craft as well. It was like a rarity 10, whereas, well, I'm thinking of Generations Ultimate specifically now, but the Platinum Dawn was like a rarity 10, whereas the gold Rathian Sword and Shield was a rarity 8. That was a prime example of rarities not really being indicative of weapon effectiveness. Or at least not as you'd expect it to. Could start making some water weapons, I don't know. Spiral Lance. I suppose I haven't made enough lances, have I? I think I've got 1 lance, and that is the Rampart, which, as I explained, is going to really only be effective, or something that I would like to use in conjunction with Awakened. So, We're not going to worry about that for now. I'm not even going to take that to the Babel Spear for a while, especially considering that that requires 15 Dragonite ore. That's quite a lot at this stage in the game. So I think we're going to make the Spiral Lance. I don't know what this upgrade's into, but I think a water lance would be helpful in some way. Let's go and make that. I keep checking to see what I need. Spongy Hide. Is that from Royal Ludroth or... Okay, it's Hydro Hide from Small Ludroth and Spongy Hide from Royal Ludroth. It's quite easy to understand or imagine why the Royal Ludroth has a giant sponge for a mane, whereas the regular monsters do not. The regular small monsters. What have we got here? Yeah, get me Sharpshooter, please. I am drinking beer. This looks like juice, but it is beer. This is actually a mango and dragon fruit sour beer, and it's very tasty. Fruit beer is a very special thing, and those of you who haven't tried it should do so. I'm going to keep with 3 Mega Potions because I'm really not in need of more than that. Not for a Ludroth hunt. I will, however, change to the... yeah, the Red Bludgeon. Of course, Thunder would still be effective against Royal Ludroth, it's just that Fire happens to be more effective. So I will go with that. Not that I need to be at peak effectiveness against this monster, but... yeah, why not? Save our boat. Well, the question becomes, if I've completed the quest and the quest title is Save Our Boat, how is it that I keep getting to save your boat? Quite frankly, you people need to do a little more to keep yourselves out of harm's way. That's what I can tell. Anyway, yeah, the game is displaying, which is encouraging. I'm happy that you can see what's going on the screen. That is brilliant. I will be monitoring the game volume. There's something about this game I'm never happy with the volume of it. You will have noticed that the second recording was a lot quieter than the first. I would say that the first was slightly louder than I would like it to be, whereas the second recording was not quite loud enough. There is a fine balance to be struck, but unfortunately, unless you're really willing to take the time to do some pre-recording to test it all out, when you're live streaming, you're just going to have to deal with it not sounding perfect until you've properly taken note of what volume levels for your applications you want it to have it be perfect, but it doesn't matter. And that's not really something that would interest many of you. I think Royal Ludroth starts in Area 2 in Tri, is that right? No, it's totally wrong. Well, I'm just going to go in whatever direction feels natural, and quite frankly, heading towards 4 and then 5 is the natural direction to go. Hopefully he's on land to start with. I do not want to be engaging this monster underwater with a hammer. Hello. So again, just for clarification, if you think I'm playing a little weirdly, or if you identify some kind of hesitation in the way that I play, it's because I'm trying to account for an unruly and thoroughly uncooperative controller. It's pissing me off. See that? See how I'm turning? Okay, so basically, you could see that I was gearing up for a Super Pound. I'm only going to draw attention to this once, so that you know what I'm dealing with, and then I'm not going to crap on about it. I positioned myself for a Super Pound, and then turned away from the monster, and then you saw my character adjusting, only to turn away from the monster again. None of that was actually something I was doing on my controller. That was either the controller or the emulator trying to make my life a living hell. So, yeah. That's going to cause my play to be a little weird, but it's alright. Mihu Cut, you are speaking in... You speak in memes, but not good memes. It has to be said. I'm going to get a turnaround golf swing. No, I'm not going to get a turnaround golf swing because you didn't want to turn around. You instead decided to flinch, which is unfortunate for you, I suppose. It must indicate that you're in some kind of pain, but yeah, that was quiet. Anyway. Yeah, there are times when I wish that I could display the chat, But that's alright. I'll let my live audience enjoy. Come on. Do your attack and then I can do mine. I'm waiting patiently. In the end, the timing was actually better though, because I had to adjust. I don't expect this Ludroth to last very long. I was talking about how, you know, my... well, I don't know if I was talking about that on camera. Never mind, I'm not going to refer to that. What I will say is that this game is like night and day. If you were to compare it with Portable Third, everything in Portable Third just dies. It absolutely dies. Whereas here, there's some sort of challenge involved. It's certainly not the case in Endgame, obviously, because of how ridiculously overpowered the Hunter can become compared with the monsters that the Hunter is fighting, but, you know, leading up to the Endgame, there is actually a challenge there. You need to deal a lot of damage to monsters for them to die. Or whether, well, I suppose it's the same amount of damage. It's what it has to do with is how much damage you're actually dealing, and you're not dealing as much damage here as, say, Portable Third. So, yeah. The reason why I mentioned Portable Third is not just because Portable Third is indeed a third-gen game. It's because Portable Third is the game that immediately followed this one. And I was playing Portable Third and this game side by side. And it's no wonder to me, coming back to Tri, why I played Tri more. It wasn't just because of the online community of Tri. That was definitely, actually, to be honest, if I'm being sensible and balanced about it, that's probably why I was playing more Tri back then. I don't think I had as keen of a sense for what was good and bad in a Monster Hunter game back then, between Portable Third and Tri. I'm pretty sure I played more Tri because it was, you know, a game that had dedicated online, whereas Portable Third had an awkward ad hoc system, which I was using Ad Hoc Party to... well, I was using Ad Hoc Party with that system, and it sucked compared to Tri online, so... yeah, that's why I was playing more Tri back then. But still, coming back to Tri here really shows me how starkly distinct these two games are from each other. I can really see why some people did not enjoy Portable Third at the time. Plenty of people did. Most people did, to be honest, and I certainly did. But if I had more experience back then, I think I probably would not have been as forgiving of Portable Third as I was back then. For me, when Portable Third came out, it was all about the new monsters. It was all about getting to experience the weapon types from Monster Hunter Freedom Unite in third generation with their new designs and their new movesets. That was a huge thing. And that completely dominated my experience and ability to enjoy the game. There was nothing that was interfering with that. You know, as far as monsters being so easy to kill, and as far as things being made generally easier. And, you know, I was about to say having two companions in solo, but you know what, they did that in 3 Ultimate as well, but I guess we are comparing strictly Tri with Portable Third as we speak now, so... yeah, it was just in general a very, very simple game. Portable Third was by far the easiest game before Base World came out. It wasn't even close. It was just designed to be a very, very gentle, relaxing experience for a new hunter. Unsurprisingly, Tri, being an Alpha Team game, does give you that sense of challenge. That sense of actually needing to work to succeed, which is better than the opposite. You don't want things to just be handed to you. That's not good at all. What I really don't like, and this is where Alpha Team starts to really struggle, between the idea of good game design and good concepts. So, a good concept when it comes to Alpha Team, in, you know, their thought process when they're actually building a game is the idea of having to work for something. Okay. That's great, and it enriches the experience for the player. But at a certain point, it becomes bad game design. Now, having to manually save at the bed instead of just having the save screen appear at the end of a quest, is fucking dumb. That's bad game design. That's not making the saving process more meaningful by making me go to the bed. It technically is that, but it's impractical. It's actually a step backwards from the portable games. But that's just the snobbish attitude of Alpha Team. They're like, oh no, you can just go and save at the fucking bed. As I recall, Monster Hunter G, and I think even Monster Hunter 1 gave you the option to save in the loading screen coming out of a quest. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. So why the hell they took that functionality away here for this game just so that you had to save at the fucking bed, I couldn't even imagine. It's just, this is what I mean when I say that Alpha Team has, they are always butting heads against good ideas versus good game design. Again, I think it is nice that you make saving more meaningful. But it should not be at the cost of convenience to this extent. You know, if I forget to save, if I forget to go to the bed because I'm distracted by what's in my inventory after the hunt, or distracted by people that I'm talking to here, because obviously as you're going through the quests in the game, like in Moga Village offline, you're oftentimes getting new people to talk to. Or rather, people have new things that they want to talk to you about, and then, you know, you've got the speech bubbles, and you go and talk to them. And then you might want to see what you can upgrade after your hunt. You might want to see what you can forge next. All of these distractions that take you away from the bed, and then imagine something interrupts you after all that. And then maybe the console has to be switched off because, you know, something's happened, or perhaps you were taken away from the game for so long that by the time you come back, you've forgotten whether or not you saved. The point is that, and I'm not clutching at straws here, the reality is that when you have to manually go and save at the bed, you are inevitably going to forget to save sometimes. It's just the way of the world. It's not convenience at the expense of meaning to give you a fucking save option in the load screen at the end of a quest, okay? Some things, and indeed some changes made to the series, are quality of life at the expense of a more meaningful experience with the game. But this is not an example of that. I really need to stress this, and this is why I say that Capcom has been struggling with the balance of Monster Hunter forever. Forever. It's not just something like game balance, like how strong you're going to make certain weapons. It's the balance of convenience versus meaning in the game. Alpha Team were on one extreme end of the spectrum, and then eventually Monster Hunter went in a direction where they just swung on the completely opposite end of the scale to what we're experiencing here. So neither of those are good things. You need to try and find a balance. What I have continuously asserted is that Capcom wouldn't know a balanced expression of Monster Hunter, its formula, or what makes it a Monster Hunter game if it smacked them across the back of the fucking head. They've got no idea. They've literally got no idea. Because if they did have a fucking idea, they would have done a damn better job than they have done in the past and currently when it comes to making a balanced game. They have never been able to do that. I'm not sure what you mean by... No, you see, that's not... Interacting with the day-night cycle is less meaningful in this game versus DOS, but I don't think they need to force you to save at the bed to make you interact with the day-night cycle. Obviously, you have the option to sleep at the bed, but this is the thing. You go to the bed if you want to pass time. It's really quite natural. Like, you can see that there's a bed in your room, and if you want to go from day to night, you go to the bed. It's simple, and if you don't work that much out, then your loss. That would be a sensible Alpha Team attitude. That sounds like the sort of thing that Alpha Team would be really on board with. Forcing people to save at the bed, in my opinion, is not going to allow people to interact with the day and night cycle better. I can't remember how they did it in DOS. I say I can't remember because, you know, you play so many different versions of Monster Hunter and you eventually start to forget how things are done in each game, but I think DOS gives you the option to save after a quest. I would actually launch DOS to find out, but you see, that's a PlayStation 2 game, and it takes a long fucking time to get into an actual session, and then eventually into a quest, and then finishing the quest. Yeah, actually, that wouldn't be practical at all, come to think of it. Oh, it's very hot, by the way. I'm sure I've mentioned this already. But yes, it is unpleasantly hot. I'm going to check to make sure that my glass is not on camera. If it is not. It is beneath the view of the camera, which pleases me. Now, we will go and have a look to see if we can upgrade our weapon. We needed some spongy hide. I've already put my stuff away. I guess I was too busy crapping on to actually commit to memory the fact that I had already done that. We're going to see if I can upgrade to the first level, or I suppose forge outright, the Spiral Lance. I can. It is a little expensive considering the amount of money that we have on hand at the moment, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice. If there's anything that I'm going to be doing with this money at the moment, it's making weapons. I think that is a sensible use of my Zenny stock, or stash. Wow, that is a sudden upgrade. So really there's two upgrades, I suppose, in low rank for the Spiral Lance. I can't imagine there being an upgrade beyond this in low rank for this weapon. It requires 3 Lagiocrus tails, and let me tell you that that's miserable shit. Cutting a Lagiocrus tail is no fun. It's dead easy if you're fighting him on land, but if you're not, it's simply not easy or enjoyable. Let's have a look at the forecast. Do we have a Lagiocrus at any point in the future? No, we don't. Well, do we need more Royal Ludroth stuff for the next upgrade? I don't think we do. No. In fact, we have the perfect amount. But you know what I will do? I will actually go and hunt these two monsters. Because I will probably want more Royal Ludroth stuff in the future. Furthermore, I am in need of Rathian plates, which is not going to be as easy to acquire here in Moga Free Hunt versus an actual quest, because quest rewards definitely increase your chances of getting plates. More often than not, I get them in quest rewards than from tail carbs or anything like that. But, you know, I've definitely gotten them from tail carbs before, so it's not a total waste of time to fight a Rathian with the desire to acquire a plate in Moga Free Hunt. So, look, I'm just going to do more Moga Free Hunt. Not just for the reasons that I've already listed, but also because I do need to accumulate resource points. I think that's important. That's something that I really did not work on doing at all in 3 Ultimate, for various reasons. Let's bring the... oh dear. Well, this is a weapon that will be effective against both monsters, so I'm happy to bring this. Something that I definitely need to forge is the Rathalos Longsword. But I don't know. That's not even a fucking longsword. It starts with L, yeah, but... oh, there we are. We can actually forge it. It's just we're poor. Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do. No, I don't want to use a fire longsword. Indeed, the Royal Ludroth is primarily weak to fire, but I'm not going to get much use out of a fire longsword going up against a Rathian. But... let me tell you, I'm very pleased to see that I can forge this already. Okay. It's actually very easy to forge, all things considered. You can see how much they've simplified the weapon crafting process here in 3rd generation versus 1st and 2nd. My god. Anyway. What was I going to do? That's right. I'm going to see what sort of materials I've accumulated, see if there's anything worth selling. Probably not. I don't think I've actually fought any monster repeatedly to the point where I can sell their stuff. I mean, 14 Vivid Feathers, actually. See, that's only 2,880 Zenny. That's not much, considering I need like 20,000 to forge this longsword. So, yeah, not impressed with that. Let's just do some Moga free hunt, and hopefully we'll get some money out of that as well. I think you get a little bit of money through Moga free hunt. It's just, it's mostly resource points. That's the idea. You do quests for money, and then Moga free hunt for resource points. At the moment, what I really, really want is money. But we're going to have a look and see. Well, come to think of it, if you wanted to, you could just sell your resources. So in other words, when you convert your hunt report into resources, you can just sell that stuff. Which is certainly tempting, and I may do that with the stuff that I get from this Moga free hunt. Except, of course, the rare commodities. We'll keep the rare commodities. That's helpful. It's just the thing is that if I'm doing it for resource points, also it's helpful to have stuff to trade with when I need things from the Argosy Sea Captain, but I'm weighing up the benefits and detriments to resource points versus any at this stage in the game. So, who should I fight first? You know what, I can fight Rathian whenever I want. I can draw her to Area 8. So I think we're going to start off with Royal Udroth. It makes sense too. No, not necessarily. If I were to fight Rathian, there would be absolutely no hope of, or rather no risk of having to deal with Royal Udroth simultaneously. Whereas there is a risk of that if I'm fighting Royal Udroth. Rathian might turn up. Not if we engage him in Area 9 and 10 and 11. God forbid Area 12. But I say God forbid because we shouldn't be taking that long to kill him. But anyway, he should be... No, he's not in here. Where the hell is he? Well, I suppose we're going to have to fight him underwater then, which is fine. Because in the end, we'll be able to take the shortcut from Area 11 to Area 8 fairly easily if we're already in the area. Alright. We have some Epioth in the water. Rather inviting. It is off-putting when I'm playing Portable Third or Double Cross, and I can't jump into the water here. It's gross. I'm honestly shocked that Ludroth is starting this far north, but I suppose that's just because there's a Rathian roaming around as well. Changes the starting position of the Ludroth, I suppose. Hello. Again, Fire Longsword would be better, but it's alright. I am going to assume that crafting of the Rathalos Longsword is going to be unupgradable in low rank. It's already starting off at rarity 3 and the damage is very good, so yeah, I'll probably have to wait until high rank before I can upgrade that. At which point it may have 2 or 3 more upgrades. More likely 2, for a total of 3. But we'll find out. Much later on. I could obviously consult the wiki, but I couldn't be bothered. We've got some jellyfish in here. Or just fish, sorry. Just fish. Even sharks are marked as fish. I should mention. Anything that is, you know, a marine animal, but then, well, I shouldn't try to make the distinction. There are a lot of small monsters in the water that are just generically classified as fish. So you've got jellyfish, sharks, etc. You've got molluds as well. All are classified as fish. Would like to break the main, although I'm not going to be getting break rewards or anything like that. So actually it doesn't especially matter. Come on. I think I managed to get that off. Can't remember if I was already at yellow. I wasn't paying attention. You can really see how mindless Longsword is here. Absolutely no strategy. Just keep pressing the fucking R button. When I said that it would be How did I phrase it? Well, I said, God forbid we fight Royal Udroth in Area 12. Well, that was upon the assumption that he was either going to start in 5 or 9. But that assumption was incorrect, so... He's only leaving the area once, okay? It's no longer quite as unacceptable to be fighting him here. It's fine. In the end, I'll be able to mine at this mining node. The benefits of that being that it's a good mining node for Macalite ore. Which, despite being fairly easy to get, is something that you need in large quantities, so it really helps to have an opportunity to get some at any point. To put it into perspective, when you look at people who have a shitload of resource points either in Tri or 3 Ultimate, 1 Ludroth in low rank Moga Free Hunt, keeping in mind that there is no high rank Moga Free Hunt in this game, they only give you 19 resource points individually. So, yeah. It's the large monsters that give you a bit more. That was 482, which isn't much, but it's only a Royal Udroth, isn't it? When I kill monsters or complete quests or things like that, you will see the emulator stutter. That's emulation for you. It's just what it is. It's unstable. And this is one of the most stable emulators in existence, just for the reason that it's been around for so long. It's had so many versions and so many improvements, but emulation is emulation. It will never be quite as seamless and perfect as playing on the actual console. Sad as it is to admit. And I'm also happy to get iron ore and earth crystals. Because I've actually played games where I have not been actively mining for it or acquiring it. And when you're out of it, it fucking sucks. If you're out of iron ore, to start with, you feel like a bit of a failure of a hunter. And second of all, you've now just been reduced to mining basic nodes to get basic materials, and it just feels stupid when you're in endgame. So, these days I'm very happy to actually mine nodes for iron ore, just so that I don't have to do it in the future. Happy to see these Ludroth lasting so long. Damn near immediate despawns are unpleasant. Alright, got a decent amount of iron ore and Macalite. We've got 6 iron ore and 4 Macalite. Not too bad. Oh yeah, capturing, giving you more resource points does make sense. But I do not have the abundance of materials required to make multiple traps. Sadly. Oh, I do need to sharpen up. I'll do that now while I'm thinking of it. Yeah, I suppose the only exception to what I just described, Lord Blub, would be ancient weapons. Because while earth crystals are a pretty basic mining material, you need a lot of them in this game to actually forge ancient weapons. And I believe it's the same in all of the 3rd gen games, same amount of earth crystals. I think it's something like 50 and then 99. I could be wrong, because I'm going based on vague memories. Very conveniently, Rathian's already here. I don't even need to pick up a damn egg. She's protecting her nest like a good mother should. I will tell your babies of your heroism, and then I'll fucking kill them. Because I'm a monster hunter. Not a nice guy. Oh yeah, I do need to actually cut this tail. That's really quite important. Keep away from that second part of the tail flip. Remember, the tail flip is a 2-part attack. When the tail actually is coming back after the flip, it can hit you in just the same way, and it's bad news. Are you fucking for real? That is such a first or second gen Rathian moment. You think she's done with her tail swings, but oh no, she's not, and you just get hit again. Yeah, congratulations, honestly. Go fuck yourself, you stupid female dragon. Need some sort of derogatory term by which to refer you. Something along the lines of bitch. But calling a female dragon a bitch is quite silly. Dragons and canines are a little different from each other. A little. Alright, do another tail flip. It's actually quite helpful for me. Or helpful to me. Both are correct. I don't know if you're flying away, but if you are, it doesn't concern me. Oh. You're giving me a tail opportunity and I'm barely ready for it. Can you fucking lose your tail already? Obviously, it's a proportion of her full health, so it shows that it's... Well, I don't know if it would be more accurate to say that it's indicative of how much health she has, or how little damage I'm dealing. Despite pretty much having a perfectly level appropriate weapon, if not better than what a lot of people would be fighting her with. It's just a more... It's a more time-consuming game. It's a bit more meaningful in general. As I said. But again, sometimes the meaningful part does come at the expense of game mechanics. Whoa, nice work, Cha-Cha. Credit where credit is due. I don't like Cha-Cha, but that was a good one. I think he broke her wing with a boomerang. Can't find the amounts for try? Should have it on the... whatever it's called, fandom wiki. The fandom wiki was fairly comprehensive back when Try came out. So... I would imagine that the information hasn't disappeared. Oh, what the fuck? There's no nest. Oh god, I have to actually track her. That's annoying. Well, I was extra lucky to encounter her in Area 8 then. Are you landing in 7 or are you flying to 5? Well, the question is she flying to 3 or is she flying to 5? Annoyingly, I have to go here to find out. She is flying to 3, I'm glad I came here. I suspected that she might be hungry. There's no food in Area 5, but there is in Area 3, so there you are. Now, I should mention that it does take a little bit of time to solo kill a Rathalos, even with this weapon in Moga Free Hunt, but it shouldn't take quite as much time against this monster, one would hope. Broken face, please. Anytime now. Come on, get the fuck out of there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's something like 50 and then 99. For ancient weapons and earth crystals. I just managed to get out of range of that, which is very fortunate. There we are. Timely flinch, that's what I'm looking for. You must almost be at flinching health. I say must as a rather wishful statement. I do not need to be fighting you here. This is a Forest and Hills Area 9 moment, and I really don't need that. There we are. Now kill her. Alright, I was expecting that to be the killing blow, to be honest. Come on, get her before she flies. Must be close. I could probably kick her to death now, but I don't think that would be very exciting, watching me kicking a Rathian to death. I suppose it would be exciting if I succeeded, which I probably would, but I suspect that it would still take some time. Okay, here's the deal. I'll kick her 5 times, and if it still doesn't work, then I'm going to attack her with my weapon, okay? Kick her in the foot. 3, 4, And, well, come on. Kick you in the stub of the tail, maybe? 5. Wouldn't that be the coolest way to kill a Rathian? Mid-air with a kick? No, I'm not doing it. Because you never know. Might take a really long time. See? Those 2 swings of that weapon would require so many kicks. So, yeah, I'm glad I didn't commit to that. That would not be worth it at all. Not even close. I'd be here for a long time. Do not underestimate how little 1 damage point is. Oh, I see. Did you find the information then, Lord Blub? I'm happy to look if you can't find it. Go away, Mr. Jaggy. We're currently at 1,340 points in total, after having killed that particular Jaggy. The total number of points changed in mid-sentence. I may as well kill these Jaggy, and I should be carving them as well. It's always good to get bird wyvern fangs. I'm sure I'll be able to just purchase them later on. I don't know from whom, but probably someone. Someone in Lochlac, of course. Come on. Char-Char's talking. You can actually entirely remove Char-Char's text. If I know myself, and I don't have a specific memory of doing this, but if I know myself well enough, I'm assuming that in my Let's Play, which is where this character originated from, I would have reduced the number of comments that Char-Char makes, but I wouldn't have turned them off entirely, because I probably felt that they were worth seeing for the Let's Play, but I'm very tempted to just turn them off completely for my recordings of Tri going forward. Because I don't like Char-Char. I'm sorry, I don't care for him. No, it's 33 and 77. Well, not as much as I was expecting, but still, it's a lot. I do honestly think it went to 50 and 99 for some game, but obviously not Tri. It doesn't mean that it's any... No, it probably never was that much. That's a lot for one fucking weapon. That, honestly, 33 and 77 is more realistic. That makes more sense. I did not actually intend to kick you there. Char-Char, I apologize. Let's return to village. Char-Char is pleased. Okay. Let's see what we get from the hunt report here. Oh, we did actually manage to get Queen's Spirit, which is a 3-star rare commodity. We'll definitely take that. I'll take anything that's low value here. Okay, we do want Perfect Paddle and Power Paddle. I think I might sell these things. Well, is that even worth it? I should probably... Yeah, I'll just take all this and I'll do some quests to accumulate funds. It's just getting to that point where... Oh, okay, well... Didn't even mean to talk to you. My throat's really... being uncooperative tonight. But yeah, I didn't even intend to talk to Char-Char though. At all. But it ended up being good. Honestly, that section... Oh, sorry. That's my controller making that noise. The section of the GUI that says resource items just looks really Zelda Wind Waker. And I think you can see what I mean when I say that. But anyway. Odd Egg. I don't even remember Odd Egg. What the fuck is this? Can be converted to resources. Okay, but why? I guess stockpile. I can understand why that might be helpful, yeah. I can understand. Here we go. What's this about? Oh, this tells you how many points you'll get from each monster. So Rathian's 800, and it turns out Lagiacrus and Rathalos are 1,000. This is probably the best way to figure out what monsters you can and can't hunt in Mocha Free Hunt. So, Lagiacrus and Rathalos are the two strongest monsters that you can fight. It doesn't go further than that. You're not going to find a Deviljho roaming around. Yeah, selling monster materials would be a much better idea for accumulating money. How about I fight something fun that I probably don't need materials from just yet? I do need Lagiacrus tails. I really don't want to cut your tail. Yeah, you know what? I'm definitely waiting until I've got my Rathalos longsword before trying to cut your tail. Abso-fucking-lutely. What am I going to do? Maybe a quest that I haven't done, hey? Might be a good idea. I don't want to fight two of you. No desire whatsoever. Could do Ceadeus. I can't remember what I fought Ceadeus with before. Might have been the... Well, what's he weak to? I know he's weak to dragon, but what's his other weakness, elementally? Maybe it is thunder. I can't remember. I agree with that. Tri had more atmosphere than 3 ultimate. That's fair. And just looking at, like, one example of that, I would say that generally part of what achieves atmosphere would be the visual presentation. The heads-up display, the menus, the graphical user interface, everything is so much more stylized in this game. Whereas it was made a little more bland and modern in 3 Ultimate. And it just resulted in a less impactful visual appearance. Look at the icons here. How good do these look? They're so detailed and so striking compared to the icons of any monster in any other game. Seriously. The best icons of the series are in Monster Hunter Tri, and that is an established fact that pretty much everyone agrees with. Like, that is an axiom that I think anyone who's played Tri will, you know, share. Or themselves agree with. It's just... there's a certain level of detail, and I think it's the positioning of the monsters in those images as well that are so good. Look how weird and interesting Giganox looks. Imagine you've never fought a Giganox before and you see this icon. You'd be sitting there going, what the fuck is that? It's really interesting. I remember when I first saw that and I didn't know what the monster was. I had no clue what it was going to look like. It looked weird and wonderful and exotic, and it was exciting to find out what the fight was going to be like. I didn't actually look at much Tri stuff before it came out in English. I knew about it, but not much. It wasn't really confirmed that it was even going to come out in English, or at least not from the information that I had to hand at the time, because, you know, you did have Monster Hunter DOS, which never came to the West, so yeah, it really wasn't guaranteed back then. Unless they early on confirmed that it was going to be coming, but I really don't know at this point. Yeah, no. Giganox is 3rd gen only. But for some reason, Khezu keeps coming back. I've discussed it before. It makes absolutely no sense that Khezu is the returning monster and Giganox gets left behind, but I don't really care, and I'm not going to complain about it. And the reason why is because Giganox being the better monster, yet simultaneously being unique to 3rd generation, gives 3rd generation more value when you go back and play those games. So I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. Why is it that I look at all of these monsters and I'm like, nah, I don't want to fight you, nah, I don't want to fight you. Maybe it's time I just gave up and realised it's Tri-Doom Link, you don't have many choices. If you don't like it, go play a game with more choices. Ugh. Alright, I'm fighting Agnaktor. just on his own, with this longsword. Because he's weak to water, and this is a very strong longsword, so this is pretty much designed to be an Ugnaughtor killer of a weapon. That is its function. Oh. Take my quest back, lady. No. No. Stop! For fuck's sake. Now some of you might say, do the quest, Doomlink, with Ugnaughtor and Uragaan. Yeah, okay, I will. Fine. I will. But still, that's not an easy quest. Even with this loadout. Try's just a little different. That's how I'll phrase it. It's a little different. I'd like stamina, actually. No, well, not at the expense of health. Oh no, it's actually going to be plus 40 health no matter what, so sure. We'll go with that. I'll actually select Heaven Bread just so that I can remove the ambiguity of the effect. It is going to be the same as this, because, you know, same kind of ingredient. Defender low would be nice, but I'm not counting on it with my only one fresh ingredient. We got Defender low and Strong Cat. Very nice. Oh yeah. Lance in Tri was very hard for me. Not hard in that I struggled to use it. It was hard in that I struggled to stop using it that way. I'd say the game that I used Lance the least would have been Portable Third, because I became so used to how it functioned in Monster Hunter Tri that I just couldn't handle it. Not being able to counter on 3 hits, or on the 3rd hit, or 3rd thrust, was just a death sentence for that weapon type for a person who had become so used to how it worked. And keep in mind that it really had no counter functionality. It had no counter functionality whatsoever before Tri, so yeah. You got used to the way it worked, and then all of a sudden it was taken away from you, and it really sucked. Well, I didn't know they nerfed the damage of the pokes. That's very interesting. Alpha Team really don't know what the fuck they're doing, because they've nerfed Lance before. So, I don't... the fact that they nerfed it again after Tri is weird. Lance was at strongest, or at its strongest back in Monster Hunter 1 and G, and then it got nerfed in 2nd gen. Well, technically in Freedom 1, but Freedom 1 wasn't Alpha Team, I don't think. Anyway. What am I doing? I need to sell something. That's right, Vivid Feathers. I've got 4 of them. Don't need that many. And I will actually save for good measure. Oh yeah. I'd say... Look, it's hard to say, to be honest. It's difficult to compare Monster Hunter 1 Lance to Monster Hunter Tri Lance. In terms of strict damage output, definitely Monster Hunter 1 and G is stronger, but you can obviously say that the functionality of a Monster Hunter Tri Lance makes it a better weapon, or perhaps even a stronger weapon. The versatility of Lance in the first game of 3rd generation makes it stronger in that respect, but you'd have to measure it based on how much you can completely decimate a monster with that weapon type. And if you know what headlocking is, that's what it is. It's literally locking a monster in place with a weapon that was so strong when you hit a weak point in Monster Hunter 1 and Monster Hunter G that you would get endless flinching. So I don't really care if your method of measurement is how the weapon functions in terms of countering or not countering. The ability to lock a monster in place solo just by hitting the head because your lance is so strong, in my opinion, makes Monster Hunter 1 and Monster Hunter G Lance stronger than the one in Tri. But obviously I appreciate why you would say that being able to counter on 3 hits definitely makes it a solid contender. Yes, Lance could headlock in 1 and G. It's where headlocking began. Headlocking in any game after those first two PlayStation 2 games was not headlocking in the same way. It was nowhere near as sustained. Headlocking in the very first games of Monster Hunter was literally, okay, you position yourself in front of the head, you start thrusting, and then you keep doing that until the monster's dead. Or until something weird happens where you're attacked by a small monster and thrown away from the head, which did happen a lot actually because of how many small monsters you had to fight, but yeah. Well that's... If that is the point, if Monster Hunter 1 stagger thresholds are lower, then maybe that's really the X factor here, but... Now why the fuck are you so armoured? This is low rank, man. Now, of course, whether or not you're bouncing off a monster is dictated by the amount of damage that you're actually dealing. But I've got green sharpness with almost 500 raw on a longsword in this game, and it's still fucking bouncing. I mean, what the fuck? I'm not even necessarily hitting armoured parts of the monster, or not parts that I would consider armoured. Probably should have brought more Mega Potions if I'm going to be bouncing like this. In fact, I definitely should have brought more. And I should have also... That's it, I'm not prepared for this hunt. I need to get the fuck out of here, get some Mega Potions. I can make them. I have a lot of honey. Not like an incredible amount, but definitely enough to be able to make however many I need. I think it's 7. Yeah, I've only got 3 Mega Potions, I think, so... You know, I'm able to actually... make them without sacrificing materials unnecessarily, so I'll do that, and I'll also bring dung bombs, because it looks like I'm going to need them. I'm not going to continue in that hunt like that. And to be honest, if I'm bouncing off Urugan like that with this longsword, which is as strong as it is, it's one of the strongest weapons at the end of low rank, I don't know if I'd really want to be fighting Urugan here. You think I might be hitting the back with overhead swings? It's possible. If that is happening, then... I could have sworn I did a forward thrust, though, and I still bounced, which couldn't have possibly hit the back, but... I don't know. I'm definitely unimpressed with the results I was getting, though. Yeah, well, his little hands are going to be pretty fucking difficult to hit consistently with a longsword, and its big overhead swings. It seems like a lance or something more directional is going to be better for Urugan at this stage in the game. Ah, fuck it. I'm not going to do that double quest right now, I'm just going to do Argnoctor, in which case I should have enough healing wares. It's a shame, because I had a good feline kitchen skill set up there. But, oh well. Looks like I'm going to get a better one, actually. Moxie and Defender High. Let's do it. That's the thing, hey AJ, for some reason they made Striker Lance the standard version of Lance rather than Guild, which didn't make any sense. Striker should have been the one to have the really heavy third thrust. I'm not sure what they were thinking with that, it didn't make any sense. And quite frankly, having a really strong third thrust would even make sense for the naming of Striker. You know, a heavy strike, focusing on the strike. Striker style. But for some reason, Guild was the one with a big slow thrust. Sometimes Capcom really should be studied to further our knowledge on neuroscience. Well, the people working at Capcom should, anyway, be studied in this way, because some of the decisions they make are just fucking impossible to comprehend. Anyway. I tend to rant a lot about Capcom. Well, in the mainline series, yeah, blub. But obviously, moves being turned into anime crap really began with Frontier, particularly in the 2011 update of that game. Monster Hunter Frontier Z, as it was. which was complete crap. Well, maybe it wasn't complete crap. There are people smashing their monitors in rage at me, even suggesting that, but when it came out, fuck off. There was no way on this green earth that I was going to play that. But it's, as I've said before, more appealing to me now that I've seen what they've done with 5th generation, so yeah. Yes, well, we're not going to be discussing Rise. I think the comment I've already made about 5th generation should indicate where I stand when it comes to that game. So of course, it would have been more sensible to go Camp 247, but I instead went the long way, because now I have to change locations in extra time. Hello? Over here, sir. I should mention that Agnaktor is a pretty strong monster at this point in the game. Even with this longsword, he is going to take a little while to die. I do, however, think I've got enough healing wares for this hunt. Should be fine. I should mention, Blub, that you are welcome. You are entirely welcome to make whatever comments you would like about 5th generation Monster Hunter, but I'm not going to furnish you with any opinion or any response to your perspectives when it comes to that, because I don't discuss that game when I can help it, and I can certainly help it today. So, or that generation of Monster Hunter. I don't discuss that generation of Monster Hunter, because it makes me angry and disappointed and tends to ruin my day. Because I'm passionate about Monster Hunter, and quite frankly I feel like I might be a little more passionate than some of the people in Capcom's upper management who have sadly turned the series into a joke. But anyway. Just trying to keep up with the monster here. I'm not going to... Well, obviously at the start I'm not going to be aiming for specific parts of the monster, but maybe as the confrontation wears on, I'll put more effort into aiming for specific parts. Because, you know, more things will be broken, and then I'll start aiming for things that aren't broken naturally. But for the moment, happy to just swing. Generally aiming for the chest, obviously, but chest, head, and maybe tail if I want to cut that, but yeah. Agnaktor has a lot of breaks. Oh, thank God. Actually managed to flinch you there. Now, I should make it very clear that I'm not much of a longsword user generally, but, you know, in the early game it does serve a purpose. Purpose, if I want to properly pronounce what I'm saying. And, yeah, it's definitely overpowered in this game, so there is a temptation to use it. The main reason why I'm doing this, however, is not because I'm hopelessly in love with the longsword, but rather because this is a strong water weapon against a very strong fire monster at this stage in the game, so it's only sensible to use this. Fucking overhead swings hitting the part of the monster that is actually heavily armored, as opposed to soft. Alright, forward thrusts only then. I'll aim for the fucking face. Even that's easier to hit than the chest right now. Are you for real? This monster is thwarting me like none other. I hate you. Can you... Thank you. Fucking hell. Stop making me waste my time. Come on. Had to keep away from him so that I didn't end up suffering the effects of tremor. I thought I had used a mini whetstone, but I clearly had not done so. I attempted to, but was interrupted and then forgot to try again. Yes, okay. I think Char Char's out of action, so it's going to be harder to sharpen. I can do that now, maybe. Oh, fuck you. Get a life. It's going to take a long time to leave the area if I go that way, so I'll just try to manage my health and then escape this monster and... Yeah, okay. Do you want a fucking award for being an insufferable fucking irritant? Fuck this monster sometimes. Sometimes. He's generally pretty good. I didn't actually like him all that much back in Tri. Well, back when it was new. Some people were obsessed with this monster. You know what? That's it. I give up. I'm leaving this area to sharpen. That's it. I'm not putting up with this crap anymore. I have taken a lot of damage while trying to sharpen. That is a fact. And I'm not going to continue with this. I'm leaving the area, sharpening, and going back. I would rather not have to do that, but they're making it pretty fucking obvious that that is a requirement at this stage. Now, I'm paintballing you so that I don't lose track of you, which is hard to do with an Argnaktor, but it's still technically possible. Did not intend to attack in that direction. Great, he's hardening already. Just what I like to fucking see. Thank you for going in the lava. It's very charitable of you. But yeah, based on my performance in this hunt thus far, this is going to take a while. It really is, and my number of potions is pretty bad too. I really should have just filled my inventory with mega potions. And not to use that as an excuse to just be profligate in their use, but rather to at least have that there if I need them. And I may. We'll see how we go. Get over here. Thank you. That's a little shy of reaching where I'm standing. That's a good way to trick me, isn't it? Do the attack twice so that I go in to hit you when you don't actually make it. And then you catch me. Now that was a fairly generous hitbox, I will admit. That was fairly generous. That was bad timing for the heal, but whatever. I can dive in time, fortunately. Yes, Leviathans are better than Piscine Wyverns. I don't think that's something that's going to be debated hotly. Anyone who prefers a Piscine Wyvern to a Leviathan should be, quite frankly, neutered so that they don't reproduce. For the benefit of mankind and its evolution. I am diving if you're wondering why I'm not taking hits. You can see my stamina being depleted. Speaking of things being depleted, my fucking patience is being depleted by this constantly hardening monster. I mean, I get it, that's the Argnaktor thing, but ugh, this hunt is stressing me out a little bit. Part of the reason why is because my level of patience goes down when it's hot, and it's hot where I am right now. Not just because I'm in the volcano, I'm not self-inserting, I'm not so thoroughly engrossed in the experience that just hunting in the volcano makes me feel hotter, somehow. But no, it is actually hot where I am, and I'm not happy about it. You can see that I'm actually doing attacks that do not have overhead swings that will hit an armored back rather than a soft belly. He had to learn eventually, didn't he? That was a little critical strike. I do forget that well, I had forgotten what critical attacks looked like in this game, and they're quite nice. They're not really in your face, but they're still tasteful and noticeable. Tasteful in the sense that they are unobtrusive and unintrusive, rather. And also, you know what I mean. The point is that they are not going... They're not too flashy, but they are still satisfying, is the way I'm trying to put it. How I'm trying to phrase it. Yeah, exhaustion really is noticeably debilitating for a monster in Monster Hunter Tri. Because it is the first game where they introduced it, it is noticeably more effective than in any other Monster Hunter game. He will try to kill a Rhinopolis and eat it in this area, which will give me an option, or an opportunity rather, to hit him. This is not the fucking timing that I was looking for in losing weapon sharpness at all. Again, thank you for your world opinions. They have been duly noted. And they will not be commented on. I'm going to patiently wait for you to go into the ground. I suppose I could... See, I feel like if I go close enough, I'll be able to get my weapon to hit where I intend for it to hit, but it still doesn't. Don't know why. Go onto the ground now. It is time. Or that. That's also fine. I suppose advertently coaxing him into the lava is probably the way to go about it, instead of running around stupidly waiting for him to go under the ground. That's really not sensible. Yeah, you can see I'm really not going for breaking parts of the monster right now. Just going for increased damage. Camo. Back into the lava. Or you can do that. I'm not fussed either way. What I am fussing over in my own mind at this stage is whether or not I have enough fucking potions to get through this hunt without needing to go to camp and sleep to recover health. I really don't want to have to be doing that. That would be a bad day for everyone. Agnaktor will get bored, I'll get bored, you'll all get bored, and my boredom will then turn to frustration, my frustration will then turn to rage, and then I'll be positively puce with said rage, and might have what they would call a freak out. Remember when freak out was a common term? Very occasionally I'll have words and phrases enter my mind that I haven't heard in a very long time. No one says freak out anymore. They say freak out as a phrase, but it used to be a single word to refer to someone losing their cool, having a freak out. But, yeah, not so much anymore. It's just one of those things that no one says. That's why I try to avoid colloquial language. If you want... Well, it's probably fine if you're having casual conversations, but if you're a content creator, for example, it immediately dates your work, and then there is little value from a perspective of posterity in what you have to say if it's so fucking dated, and no one in the future will understand what you're saying. I suppose freak out is fairly self-explanatory, but you know what I mean. Well, I suppose that's fair. It depends how much I'm running back to camp. Oh, I did not want to fucking sharpen now. That Rhinopolis nearly saved me. Could have done. But fortunately it wasn't necessary. Anyway, it's time to start consuming mega potions, I think. Are you leaving the area now? I fucking hope you are. Good. Because if you weren't, that would have been rather dangerous. You see, Hey AJ makes the point that the longsword has Mind's Eye with the spirit combo. The reason why I haven't been making use of that is because the strategies that I employ against the Agnaktor are very well embedded within me, more so than the understanding that longsword, when I swing it with the spirit combo, will not actually cause my spirit gauge to run down. So yeah, point taken. I definitely, coming into this fight, thought about that, but during the process of actually hunting the monster, I completely forgot that that was an option, so I'll do that. Obviously, it's not an option now, but yeah, it most certainly has been before now, and I haven't been taking that opportunity, so yeah. Point taken. I'm gonna try and not take stupid fucking damage. Might be a nice way to approach things. Can't fucking see what's going on. Couldn't fucking roll that. The closer you are to the base of the tail, the harder it is to evade it. Not that my positioning was particularly good anyway, or rather my timing. But, whatever. At least I tried. Gold star for effort, I guess. Come on. Come on! Why do you do this to me? You won't even give me the next level of my fucking charge gauge. You choose to time your roar so as to prevent that from happening. You deny me this thing. Why? Oh yeah, out of potions, by the way. Suppose it wouldn't be all that harmful to consume another ration. It would be harmful if I timed it poorly, which I almost did, but anyway. Well, I'd say that was timely poor. Wow, that was poorly timed. Yeah. Timely poured. Sure was, Doomlink. I almost never do that. I am in such poor form today in terms of my commentary, in case you guys haven't noticed. But, I'm trying to ignore it. And just continue doing the best I can. Wow, check that out. I've got two things broken at the same time. But yeah, it was poorly timed, it's just that I wasn't punished for it. That doesn't mean that it was a good idea. It just means that I was lucky. Alright. Oh, for fuck's sake! How many times am I going to lose sharpness? Well, a lot of times, I guess. This weapon doesn't have a whole lot of green. The reason being that it's, you know, a high damage, high affinity weapon, so that's part of how you keep it in balance, and I recognize that. But I would rather it had more sharpness and less raw damage, quite frankly. My DPS would be higher if I wasn't constantly having to sharpen the fucking thing. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm out of healing wares. No, no! Shit. I don't have a Farcaster, you see, so there's no quick way back to camp except to die, and I'm tempted to do that. As in, I'm tempted to allow that to happen. Can you believe that it's been this long? I mean, we're 20 minutes into this hunt. I have a perfectly level appropriate weapon. And honestly, my DPS has been fine. I haven't been playing amazingly well, but I haven't been playing amazingly shit. And yet we're 20 minutes into this. This is the situation. This is a monster that's very strong. In fact, Agnoktor does not need to be killed in order to complete the offline village. By complete, I mean get the end credit sequence. That's what I mean. So, he's sort of an endgame boss as far as offline village is concerned. And yeah, he definitely plays like it. There we go. Breaking a few things on his body. I suppose getting claws is helpful. As far as drops are concerned, I mean. I'm just going for it. And I went for it. The attack came out, but apparently still didn't make contact. Okay. This monster's definitely getting beaten down in terms of things breaking on the body, but I'm not feeling like I'm dealing all that much damage to him because I've yet... Well, I suppose he did get exhausted once, didn't he? Okay, that's not too bad. But still, not terribly happy with the fact that this monster has yet to die or show signs of real weakness, such as... Whoa! Fucking hell, how high are you going to throw me with that bloody attack? Okay. Good for you. No, I'm getting out of here. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. That's that. This is fucking Monster Hunter Tri. Not Portable Third, not 3 Ultimate, not any other game except for Monster Hunter Tri. And it feels like it. It's a little harder. It requires a little more of the hunter, which is fine. It's just that I'm not used to it. Not anymore. You know, I have to stress the fact that this weapon, stats-wise, is absolutely endgame as far as low rank is concerned. 495 raw attack, 250 water element, 10% affinity with green sharpness. There's nothing wrong with these stats. But the monster's strong. And, you know, he's also kind of aggressive on top of that. But yeah, I do appreciate that it's more of a hunt, more of a battle. You're clawing your way to victory rather than having it delivered to you on a silver platter. Which is nice, in a sense. But at the moment it's slightly pissing me off. It just shows how much they fucked it up, because this feels good, I would say. Not unfair, it's just a bit of a challenge, and like I've hinted at before, adds more meaning to the experience. But when I say they fucked it up, what I mean by that is the endgame balance of Monster Hunter Tri in Lochlac, in the online city mode. They completely fucked it up with purple sharpness. And, you know, I understand that if you get to endgame, and you make, you know, the weapons of Alatreon and Deviljho, they should be strong. But they are too strong. They are insanely strong in this game. And it's just not in keeping whatsoever with the spirit in which this game was designed. By Capcom. It's just laziness. Did that? I swear to God, that back leg recovered itself, like it healed. Now we've got a fucking limp. We're at 25 minutes. Unbelievable. It's not just purple sharpness and not just old purple sharpness. It's old purple sharpness in a high rank game. Ridiculous. Of course, the reason why they went ahead with that was because the game that preceded this one was Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. The first game to introduce purple sharpness. The thing is, however, that's a G-rank game! Freedom 2 didn't have purple sharpness, not because they hadn't thought of it, because it was high rank, that's why. Alpha Team are like, oh, what's purple sharpness? Oh, this is cool. Alpha Team can't handle purple sharpness. They can't handle it. Oh, no. Alpha Team can barely handle a video game, much less purple sharpness. I'll give it a rest. Well, you know what I'm doing, don't you? Leaving to sharpen. That is the most prudent thing to do when I have no healing wares, practically. I have a little bit, but one first aid med doesn't really count as having healing wares, in my opinion. Come on. Alright, off I go. To Area 10. And seeing as though I'm here, I should be doing some mining. I can handle not mining in Area 5. I can definitely handle that. When I say handle, I mean it feels like a massive waste, but at this stage I'm weighing my personal enjoyment with building my character. Like, those two things are currently in conflict, and quite frankly, the convenience is outweighing the desire to build my character. And Area 8, 9, and 10, or Areas 8, 9, and 10 are the best for mining anyway, so I'm happy to forego the spoils that could be found in Isle 5. Isle 5? Area 5. Definitely not Isle 5. But anyway. Not even going to begin to explain why I said Isle 5. In Isle 5 you will find Dragonite ore, Earth crystals, I don't know. I've been instructed to talk to the Elder. Why? Because I have something that he wants? What do I have that he wants? Tell me. I assume you mean the Veggie Elder. Oh, talk to him because you forgot he was a thing. You want to know what he has to say? He makes endless references to the fact that he's old. Hello. I'll kill you here and then I'll do my mining after that. Because I really want you to die. As soon as possible. Yeah, having some Psycho Serums would be nice. If I can get them from him, then great. But then I would do that thing where I have very few Psycho Serums, therefore using one would feel like a waste in every scenario. And I would constantly be waiting for an appropriate occasion to use it, but then I would always resist the temptation, and then ultimately I'd never use the Psycho Serums that I had acquired. That's just one of the things that I tend to do in video games. If I don't have much of the material or item or tool in question to expend or utilize. Come on. Get away from me, you rock-tall bastard. Get in there. Swing your weapon. And kill the damn monster. In fact, I suppose I should be... It will actually cause my DPS to suffer, but I will actually at this stage, and it's probably not going to result in success, but I will exclusively aim for the tail with my last swings of this weapon against this monster, because while I don't expect to cut it, it is already broken, so if it's already broken, at least I'm that much closer to cutting it. Here we go. This is an opportunity. Managed to hit that Rocktol with that Fade Slash. No, you're facing the wrong way, Agnoctol. I need your tail. Obviously, chasing the tail of a monster is just terrible for DPS. Awful. But I've got all the time in the world, apparently. 30 minutes to hunt a fucking Agnoctol. Yeah, the first time I connected a USB keyboard to my Wii, I spent... the first hunt that I did that in, it was, you know, probably 3 months into playing the game, so I had experienced having to use that bloody atrocious on-screen keyboard, which is one of the worst on-screen keyboards I've ever used in a video game. It was in that event quest to get the Sharklands where you had to kill all the fish. Or all the sharks, I guess. I think it was sharks. And you had to harpoon them all. It was like, kill 30 sharks or something like that. And I basically spent the entire hunt just typing to these people because I was so ecstatic that I could actually type with such little effort all of a sudden. I could type full sentences so quickly. That which previously took like 30 to 60 seconds was now taking about 3 to 5 seconds. It was incredible. And, yeah. Alright, it is fucking time to kill this monster. It is fucking time. It has been time for the last 10 to 15 minutes. So you better believe it's time now to kill this monster. I'm pleased that the tail has been cut, but I'm thoroughly and fulsomely displeased by the fact that this monster is still alive. So, it's time to fucking go. Argnoctor, you have overstayed your welcome, even though this is your territory, not mine. You have overstayed your fucking welcome, and I'm sick of you. It's time to die, any time now, please. Keep missing with my slashes, which doesn't help anyone. No, don't get stuck now. Get ready to dive. Where are you going? I don't know if you're confused or if you're attacking Char-Char. Or if you're intentionally trying to confuse me. Can you believe how long this has taken? I mean, use this as your comparison for difficulty across different games. I mean, what the fuck? I've been playing okay. I mean, again, I'm not going to be... I'm not going to suggest... What are you doing? This is not the time to be... Why would you do it now? Why would you do it now? Did not intend to press that button to sharpen. Anyway, that's great. Let's tack a little bit more time onto this hunt, shall we? Oh, God. Great. Just what I wanted. Guy who has been playing Monster Hunter for nearly 14 years comes back to try after 10 years and can't fucking handle it because the game is harder than what he's been used to over the last 10 years. Even after having played, I don't know, first and second gen fairly frequently. What it is that it's dressed up in the image of what I'm familiar with, which is 3 Ultimate and Portable Third. But it's anything, it couldn't be more different in terms of how it actually plays. It really is like comparing the experience of Freedom 2 to Freedom Unite. They look so similar, but they are so different. Oh, fuck. Well, the controller obviously doesn't help, AJ, to be honest. Having to fight with one's controller while playing doesn't help, but quite frankly, it's not just the controller that's causing issues here. I've spent 35 minutes in this quest with a perfectly level appropriate longsword while fighting this monster, and it's still not fucking dead. I mean, I'm not playing well, but I'm not playing that bad. Jesus. Imagine if you were fighting this thing with a bad weapon, you simply wouldn't succeed. Imagine if you were playing with an average level of skill, with an inappropriate weapon, you would simply run out of time against this monster. There's no other way around it. Unbelievable. This is meant to be a challenge at this stage in the game. This is why he was not required to be killed before getting the actual end game sequence. Or the, ending sequence of the offline portion of the game. He is treated as an end game boss. Much like, for example, Yian Garuga in first gen. So, And I hesitate to mention Fatalis, Fatalis has never been required, but yeah. At any rate, that's Argnoctor. What a fucking experience. Yeah, 2 hits. That definitely added time on. Oh, what pathetic rewards. Pathetic! For the amount of... I broke everything on that monster. And look at my rewards. This is disgusting. Can you believe that I broke 4 claws, his face, his back, his tail, and cut his tail, and this is what I get in the reward screen? This game can fuck off. And 1 claw! I broke 4 claws and I get 1 in the rewards. I don't know what I carved, but I fucking hope I carved at least 1 claw, because that is insulting. What the fuck? Unbelievable. Alright. Silver Crown. What joy. Yeah, well, first gen in general, AJ. All of first gen had terrible rewards. That was a good first gen tier reward section. But absolutely garbage by third gen standards. Alright. Well, my inventory's looking a bit bare after all that. I only did that for money, but I don't think I got anything too exciting. No, well, I suppose I have increased my money a decent amount. And there is a temptation to actually sell some of my Agnoktor stuff for the reason that I don't think I'm going to be needing any for a little while. So I might do that. Let's have a look. Yeah, we'll sell some Agnoktor scales. Oh, actually, no, that's almost pointless. Because for the amount of money that I need to forge this Rathalos longsword, that's nothing. That amount of money that I just made is nothing. Fucking hell. They really make you work for this longsword. It is very strong, I admit, but... Alright. How long have I been recording for? I have not been monitoring the game volume, by the way. I hope it hasn't been too loud. I'm crossing my fingers that it hasn't been too loud. I have time for one more hunt, at least according to me. I could go for as long as I wanted, admittedly, but I'd rather not. I've been at work all day, I'm tired. Could do capture the Kurapeko. Yeah, decent Zenny reward, but to be honest, like, what was Denizen of the Molten Deep? 6,000? Oh yeah, I definitely need to make some Barioth weapons. I need ice weaponry, I don't have any, so that would be nice. Let's look at capture quests. What have we got? Capture a Rathian, 5,600. That's not too bad. If I capture Rathian and sell her rewards, obviously, ensuring that I'm not accidentally selling a plate, that would probably be very good. Very helpful. Stop, again, like I just let go of my analog stick and my character runs off somewhere. Stop that. This controller has a mind of its own. Okay, now, what am I doing? What would I like to use? Do not want to go back to the fucking Thunderclap. I'm surprised that these weapons have the same raw value. I would love to use the Shadow Saber, even though I would actually imagine that Rathian has some resistance to poison. But for controller-related reasons, I'm not using the Sword and Shield right now. It's not happening. Alright, Thunderclap Plus, what choice do I have? Well, I won't save yet. I will organize my potions, and then I will save. Barioth is my favourite monster in all of Monster Hunter, says Lord Blub in the chat. Fair enough. Everyone needs to have a favourite, and Barioth is an interesting one, but not a bad favourite, I guess. That's probably what I'd say to that. Now, do I have combo books in my box? Please tell me that I do. I have 2. That should be enough to get a 100% chance on Mega Potions. Now, talk about going the long way. Alright. These can go back into the inventory. Purchase some more potions. What else do I need? Well, I'll save and then I'll eat and then I'll depart. How about that? Sound fair? Alright. Looking good. I suppose Barioth is cool. He does have a cool factor. How do you feel about Sand Barioth? Do you like him as much? Or is he a bit too anime? Spinning around a tornado. I'm not a fan of his colour scheme. but I think his concept is interesting. It seemed a little... I think there would have been more interesting subspecies for Barioth than a sand Barioth. It's a bit weird. Doesn't sound quite right. You know? Oh, rule number 1 of Barioth Club, you do not talk about sand Barioth. Okay, well, fair enough. They could have come up with a better name for him too. Sand Barioth. That's the sort of thing you'd expect of, you know, a situation where he's called, you know, he's just given the generic subspecies name that you get in a lot of, or with a lot of the monsters in the Japanese version of Monster Hunter. Back before 3 Ultimate came out and an official translation had come out. People calling him Sand Barioth at that point made sense, but the official translation is Sand Barioth? Why? At least it's not Orange Barioth. I'm trying to remember how people referred to him back in Portal 30. It wasn't... Yeah, it was Sand Barioth back then, I remember. No one was calling him Orange Barioth. People were calling Copper Blangonga Brown Blangonga, but they weren't saying Orange Barioth, fortunately. Fortunately. Oh god, Orange Barioth. Okay. A Royal Rumble. Let's go. What did I eat for? Blaster? Yeah, Blaster. And Gatherer. I'm assuming Gatherer will let you gather more times. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, it's true. Sliding around on his claws doesn't make any sense on sand, that's true. But you're dealing with Monster Hunter. This is not a realistic kind of game. Can I... Oh, those are easy flash bombs. Sadly. Well, of course they are. Regular flash bombs are yellow, Doomlink. You know this. Don't be so pathetic. This is not new information at all. Alright. Rathian definitely does start in Area 2. Remember when I was saying, oh, Royal Ludroth might start in Area 2 and try? Well, I was wrong about that, but I'm right about this. Hello. Yeah, come on. I probably should be aiming exclusively for the tail. I should wait for opportunities, of which there will be plenty. Let's be sensible about it. I'm totally missing your head because I'm playing horrendously. Horrendously. This is a perfect example of how not to fight this monster. Now it's getting a bit better because I'm, I don't know, going from shit to decent. Or acceptable. Whatever demeaning description you would like to give. Come on. You know, considering I have focus on this armor set, my charge gauge is going up pretty fucking slowly. Never thought I'd be sitting here complaining about the functionality of a longsword in Monster Hunter Tri. You know things have gotten bad. You know Doomlink's playing like shit when he's making complaints like that. I have to tell you, today has been a fucking exhausting day. That's why my commentary's been so bad. It was a very long day at work. I was very close to not recording today for that reason, but my mood being positive actually prompted me to record. Not out of any sense of obligation, but rather because I actually felt like it. But it turns out my exhaustion really has lowered the quality, not just of my play, but also of my commentary. Is what it is. No, don't go that way. Trying to keep things a little tighter. Tail opportunity. Like I said, there's plenty of tail opportunities against a Rathian. Because she's constantly doing tail flips, obviously. And the tail hangs down on the ground each time she does a tail flip. I had a bit of a warm-up session with Rathian in Mocha Free Hunt, as you'll recall. That tail. Oh, there we go. It's come off immediately. I'm going to assume that having a subquest... Oh yeah, I do need a capture, I can't forget that. But yeah, I'm assuming that having a subquest for cutting the tail will mean that that subquest will include a drop chance for plates. I hope. Again, the drop chances are fucking low in low rank. I believe that they drop. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. In fact, no, they definitely do, because my next upgrade for the Rathian Greatsword, which requires a plate, is indeed Rarity 3. And that is a low rank rarity. There we are. That's quite good. I don't think I'm actually going to be dealing enough damage to this Rathian to kill her accidentally. I just don't believe it. Not for a fucking second. Not after my experience with Arknaktor before. Oh, come on. You saw that the environment actually pushed her into me there. That's fine. That's brilliant. I don't mind being fucking comboed in that sort of way, as long as I don't die. Charcha is fucking dead, so I have to be careful when it comes to recovering my health. I don't think I've used a potion until now, which is, I suppose, a good thing. Bit of an upgrade from the Arknaktor hunt. Just had to get my charge gauge back up there, if you noticed. It was starting to deplete. Oh, that's a... see, I'm not going to be greedy. She is going to limp. But I'm not going to be greedy. I could have tried to drop a trap there. That would have been kind of silly. Because I've only got one trap and I'm not going to squander it. Because squandering it means that I might have to restart. I don't think there's any possibility of me being able to craft a trap here. I don't even know where I'd find a fucking... No, I don't have trap tools, it's not possible. Anyway. Rathian may have gone to 7? Doesn't look like she went to 4, so I'm going to assume 7. No, I did break the head already. The head was broken some time ago. Oh no, she came here. Alright. Stay right where you are, lady. And that's very, very nice of you. But no, I think everything except the... Oh no, yeah, everything except the wings. I thought we had broken at least one wing, but yeah. Head and tail have been dealt with. What's happening with the subquests? Okay, cool. Head and tail have been broken, and she has been captured. As far as I'm concerned, this is probably the best... These are the best chances you're going to have of getting a plate in low rank in the village. So, let's hope. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. Now, all of these scale drops, you know, the scale icon, are placed in either the subquest reward or the wound cap reward. Actually, considering where they are positioned, they all look like capture rewards to me. Apart from the subquest reward, obviously. Well, let's have a look. Please be a plate, please be a plate. Nope. Nope. What a shame. Rathian Spike is kind of hard to get, but nowhere near as hard to get as a plate. Oh well. Another silver crown. Awesome. Oh fuck, I was supposed to sell them at... I was supposed to sell stuff, but I didn't. That's alright. Yeah, you play too much 5th gen, man. You really do. Anyway, well, I guess that's how it would seem from someone who literally doesn't play it at all. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. Let's have a look. It has been 2 hours and 2 minutes. Wow, that was a pretty fast hunt, actually. I do thank you all for watching. No, it hasn't been 2 hours and 2 minutes. That's right. I had a false start. Fuck. Okay, I'll do one more hunt. Whatever. Don't leave yet. I'm still hunting. It hasn't been 2 hours. Technically, yes, for the live stream, but the VOD is less than 2 hours as we speak. So I will do another hunt. And, I don't quite know what that's going to be. I'll have to make a decision. I could do another one. Could do another hunt exactly like that. Good to have re-rolls for the acquisition of a plate, and then furthermore, it's good for money, I guess. Still some distance from the 21,500 fucking zenny to forge this longsword. You know why it's so expensive? It's because you're basically forging an endgame low rank, not endgame high rank, endgame low rank longsword outright. So, yeah, it's fucking expensive. Good longsword though. It's even got a slot. I'm not done! Stop! I'm still here. Depends how fast you guys are at clicking away. As soon as I say, well, that's it, guys, it's like, where's my mouse? Click away. Ugh. Falcon punching everything on your desk in with a sense of true excited abandon. Okay. No, we will do the same quest again. It's easier. I actually don't need to purchase anything, I don't think. We'll just eat and then head off. I can never really place my glass in a spot that pleases me. It always ends up moving. Okay. No, you must accept the quest before leaving. Is that not obvious? But yeah, I'm doing this for money at this stage. I'm not really expecting to get a plate. But if I don't get a plate, I wouldn't be able to sit here and say that I didn't attempt to get one. I didn't just give up at the infinitesimally small chance of getting one. The impossibly difficult chance. Oh. Well, I have a solution. Why are you wasting drinks? That's why. Let's use a flash bomb this time. Might be good for the tail. Well, it certainly will be good for the tail. I will take that dung bomb, that's good. Add it to my pile. Yes. I do have a secret pile. And only the initiated have access to it. Don't ask what the initiation ritual is. It's quite unseemly. And antisocial. Sheathe the weapon so that you can get out of the way if she's doing funny things. Like that. We don't want any funny business from you, Rathian. I need to time my strikes better. I'm missing my overhead swings, and I don't think it's in any way helpful to miss that opening swing. Like, at all. So we're going to stop doing that. Alright, head opportunity. Again, we do want both subquests. I think that's going to be helpful. I would imagine that breaking the head would also help for plates. I can't say that with any real conviction, but what I can say is that mantles in G-rank games drop more frequently when you break the head of a wrath monster, so maybe it's the same for scales, or rather plates, which are strong scales. Same concept as a mantle or heavenly scale. A mantle or heavenly scale, depending on what game you're playing, is essentially a very hard monster scale that is rarely formed, and is quite valuable. I'll actually use my flash bomb this time. Might be a good idea, seeing as though it's essentially given to me and can't be used outside this quest. Well, that's always great. What are you up to? Don't bomb Cha-Cha, that's not nice. Stop this thing. Where are you going? Again, it doesn't look like Area 4, but I dare say it doesn't look like Area 1 either. But I suppose it is. Yeah. Well, alright, tail opportunity. Alright, I'll do. You see, the reason why I haven't been doing frequent... Oh, stop with the fucking camera angle. God. Miserable shit. Obviously, Spirit Combo is not at all good for things that are high up on a monster. The attack range is horizontal and low to the ground, so it's only helpful in certain situations. Nearly threw a flash bomb, which would have been effective, I think, had I thrown it when I was itching to do so, but I just felt that that was a little unnecessarily aggressive. Alright. Waiting for that opportunity to throw it still. She hasn't really given me an opportunity, to be honest, has she? Not one where I have my weapon sheathed. Come on. My DPS is going down by the second. There's an opportunity, don't like. No, there isn't. Be quiet. What you doing? Tail flip? No. Okay. Oh. Come on. There we are. Oh, never mind. When I saw that flinch, I honestly thought that that was a cut tail or a severed tail. Well, it's nice of you to end up in the air now, except that you're facing into the bush. And I'm not sure if my flash bomb would be in any way effective at that stage. Do a tail flip, do it. No? Okay. I just want to guarantee that my flash bomb's going to be effective if I only have one. Ugh, fine. What you up to? Please? I don't want to attack your anus. Alright, turn around. Look at me. Look at me! No, you're gonna end up back on the ground. Fine. The opportunities are there, Doomlink. You just suck at taking advantage of them. At least, as you are now. Take that, bitch. Are you for real? You... Talk about barely missing the opportunity. Barely. About a single frame of her landing animation had transpired. That's some fucking bullshit. Unbelievable. Alright, well, you see, I don't want to kill her. Well, I don't think there's any risk of that. Me killing her before I cut the tail. I've been barely able to hit her. I've barely been able to hit her, to phrase that correctly. But anyway. Come on. Tail. This has been an absolute snooze fest compared to the last fucking one. Tail cut, I reckon. Next hit. No? Yeah, well, next hit. That hit the bloody wing. Was really hoping for a plate there. I don't know why I keep hoping in the way that I am. Because when you hope, you inevitably become disappointed. But why am I getting disappointed when the chances are so low? Yep, come on. I'm not getting caught in that. Headlocking. Nope, that's bad. Limp out, please. So that I don't have to worry about accidentally killing you. Don't fly off normally. That's really bad. That's really bad. I recognize that my DPS was low because I was aggressively aiming for the tail, but come on, this is bad because I've dealt enough damage at this stage where she's obviously close to death, but she's only just moved areas, and when she's only just moved areas, it means she's not going to limp immediately, even if she has reached her threshold, where she will limp, because she's only just entered the area, so I actually have to be careful. And that's pissing me off, as we speak. Alright? Yeah, well, you missed me, because you're useless. It was such a Vespoid moment. Stop running around. Could you maybe not run around? I don't know what it is about your running around that's pissing me off so much right now. I just want you to die. I don't have the patience tonight. Please. I've had it. Oh, there we go. We got a limp. I'm glad I wasn't too aggressive there, otherwise that would have been risky. Alright. What's she doing? I saw some movement of a shadow. Well, do yourself a favor and play some 2nd gen or 1st gen. Then you'll get the real Vespoid experience. What are you doing, Doomlink? What are you fucking doing, you idiot? This is a capture quest and you just killed the monster. You fuckwit. You clown. You've wasted your time. You've just wasted your time. You're not going to get anything out of that. You got a fucking scale from a tail carve, you prick. You got nothing out of that. What a waste of time. This is why I hate capture quests. Because I killed the monster. I've succeeded in doing that. It's Monster Hunter. I've hunted the monster and then you give me nothing. Thanks. Fuck you. Alright. That's that. Hallelujah. Just lost focus on the objective. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I will see you next time I'm recording Monster Hunter. I do hope that you got some enjoyment out of this. I will see you probably in a different game to this one when I am recording Monster Hunter next. If you'd like to watch something else of mine, then perhaps I'll be doing something else as well. Who knows? I, at this stage, could not tell you with any real accuracy or confidence as to what I'm going to be recording next, but it's not going to be this game. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.